Hi everyone, welcome to today's 5-Minute Friday. I'm Alan from Newlands and I'm standing in one of our very, very hot greenhouses, so I thought it was the perfect time to talk about watering. It is by far the part of gardening that people get wrong the most often, and it isn't an exact science. We were just talking before we hit record. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's an art. It sounds a bit pretentious, but it takes a lot of experience to get it right. So let's talk about watering. So a lot of people have bought plants and they're going to be about this size. If you bought a plug plant from us, they might be about this size now. So that plant there, because of this soil being exposed to the sun, the soil's actually going to evaporate water a bit quicker. But the plant being smaller, it's not going to take up quite as much water. That plant we're going to probably, with this hot weather, it's about 25, 26 degrees today, probably going to water every single day, but it's a good tip just to get used to. It feels a bit moist but not too wet. This plant here was watered this morning. You can already see it's starting to dry out a little bit. We might water something like this twice a day. The plant's bigger, it's growing quicker, it's using up more water. So what we're going to do is go around the nursery, show you various different size pots and different plants, and show you how weed water them, in the hope that you're going to get a bit of experience from our experience. So we've come over to one of our warmer greenhouses, and this one's actually got tomatoes, which we don't sell online, but we grow these just for ourselves. We used to commercially grow tomatoes. Now these are in 10-litre pots, so they're bigger pots, but these plants are going to be huge. At the moment we're watering this 2 or 3 times a day, and as you can see there's a load of foliage here. We want to put a lot of strength into the plant, we want it to grow quickly, and although this was watered about 2-3 hours ago, the soil's still a bit moist, but I'm checking it more regularly to see where it's drying out, and I would bet we're going to water this towards the end of the day with the wind we've got at the moment. So this plant here we've put in a very, very big pot, still in the greenhouse, but the reason we put it in a big pot, or one of the reasons we put it in a big pot, so we don't have to water it as regularly. As you can imagine, in this size pot, and I don't know how many litres it is, it's going to hold a lot more water, so we water this one a lot less regularly. As the plant gets bigger, and believe it or not, this is going to be way above my head, it's going to be a big plant, we will need to water it more, but there's more soil in here for it to get the roots down and to take up the water. So this one we're probably watering every other day, sometimes every 3 or 4 days, even in the very, very hot weather we're having. So you can see the bigger pots, you have to water a bit less. So maybe be a bit more cautious about the very small pots that you've got around. Okay, so now I join you from our propagation area of the nursery. Now this is the area where the plants are the youngest, and it's also the area where the plants are the smallest. So we have to be super careful about how much water they get. It's all done by hand, albeit with a hose. We go over so we can actually water individual trays to get the water right for individual varieties. Now this plant here, this mint here, is picking up nicely, so it's started to use up water. So this will be watered more. And if you've got young seedlings, as they start to grow, you'll see they start to use up the water. And we're so worried about the amount of moisture that we get to these young plants, we've even got this. So this is the equivalent of covering your pot with a polythene bag or something like that. It keeps the moisture in. These, believe it or not, we sometimes in the very, very hot weather, we might be watering 3 times a day. So the smaller soil we go, and you can see the quicker something's growing, the more moisture it's going to take up, the more water it's going to need. So now we're outside, and this is how a lot of the plants are going to be in your garden, especially if you're growing them in pots, and often how they're going to arrive to you if we send plants to you. Now these get watered once, twice a day, roughly. They're relatively small pots, so they're a 9-centimetre pot, and this one was watered this morning. We're sort of midday now. It's just looking, still moisture in the soil, but it's just looking like we'll probably water this towards the end of the day. Now the factors here are, we get a bit of a breeze through here, that dries out plants so quickly. So if you're looking to conserve the water or want to put a plant in an area where you don't want it to dry out too much, think about a breeze going past. It's very, very hot, and outside things will grow a bit quicker, and these are actually going to use up quite a lot of moisture as well. And one thing to bear in mind, if you've got a collection of plants, and it happens on the nursery a lot, and you've got these edges, that's where it's going to dry out the most. So if you've got a group of plants in a pot on a patio or something like that, the centre one will often not dry out as much as the edge ones. So bear that in mind when you're watering. As with everything, if you've got any questions at all, just send us a message and we'll be able to get in contact with you.